this video, we're going to be learning how to use the point slope formula. So I'm going to put this formula here. What I'd like you to do is write it down because you're going to be using it over and over and over. It looks a little confusing, but it's not too bad. So you can pause the video and write it down. Okay, I'd also like you to write the fill in the blank version because we like to just have a formula that we can fill in the blanks. Notice that the letters are underneath. That way we know what goes in each blank. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. All right, now we're going to find out how to use it. So we're going to start with what do we need to use with this formula? What are the two pieces of information that you need? Well, first you need a slope. Okay, so we have to have the slope, that's what M stands for. And then we need one ordered pair. So the one, don't get confused by the little ones right here. It just means that we need one ordered pair and that they need to be from the same ordered pair. Okay, so what do we need to find the slope? Well, when we find the slope, we usually have either two rows in a table, which would be the same as 2 points. So let's go and figure out how to do it. I have 2 points right here. So my question to you is, what do we need? Okay, so let's look at our formula. So right here, I want you to notice this is the formula. It's not in the fill in the blank version yet because we're going to take step by step. The first step is find the slope. Okay, well, we're used to doing it in a table. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring these ordered pairs over to the table so that we can do it in the way that we already know how. Okay, so the question is, how do I get from -10 to 8? If you're not sure, you would do 8 subtract -10, and that would tell me that I am going up 18. How do I get from 2 to 4? Well, I'm going up 2. Then we're going to slide and divide. What is 18 divided by 2? It is 9. So our slope is 9. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the 9 in here. Hopefully you notice that the 9 is now in the formula. And step 2 says plug in a point. So we can pick either point, but the point that I'm going to choose is this one right here. I'm going to put in 2 and -10. So I'm going to put my 2 right here and my -10 here. But I've got that written better on this next page. Okay, so I plotted my 2 and my -10. Notice that I kept these signs exactly like they were in the original formula. So the original formula is everything that's in black. So now we simplify. Okay, so 9 times x is 9x. 9 times a -2 is -18 or -18 plus a -10. Whoops, I can do hard things. Okay, -10. Now, is there anything to combine with the x's? No, there's not. So it's just going to be 9x. And then I've got to figure out, well, I guess I shouldn't have put a minus there. I've got to combine like terms. So when I combine these together, because they're both constants, neither one of them have a variable, it's going to be -18 plus a -10, which gives me -28. So my formula or my equation would be y equals 9x minus 28. Let's try another one. Okay, this time I just got the steps listed out here. So step number 1 is going to be find the slope. So I'm going to do that over here on the side. I like the table, so I'm going to make a little table over here. You can do it other ways. Do whatever makes you happy. Okay, how do I get from -2 to 4? If you're not sure, you would type in 4 minus -2, and that means I'm going up 6. How do I get from 12 to 6? I am going down 6. Slide and divide. -6 divided by 6 is going to be -1. Okay, so I like my formula in the fill in the blank version. So I'm going to say y equals blank times x minus blank, and then I'm going to have plus blank. What did I get? I got my slope, which was -1. Now I can choose either ordered pair. It doesn't matter. This time I'm going to choose the second ordered pair because on the last one I chose the first. So I'm going to plug in 4 and 6. Okay, so I did step number 1. I've done step number 2. Now I'm going to simplify. -1 times x is -1x. -1 times, this is the tricky part, this is the -1 times a -4, which is a +4. And then I have plus 6. Okay, there's nothing to combine with my -1x, but I can combine these right here. So +4 plus 6 is going to be plus 10. So my final answer is y equals negative 1x plus 10. Okay, now we're going to do one that's a little bit more challenging. It's a level 3 problem. The one thing that I want you to know is we are going to use all fractions. We will not use any decimals when we do these problems. So step number 1 was find the slope. So over here, I'm just going to do a little table because that's how I like to do it. You do what makes you happy. Okay, so how do I get from negative 9 to 3? Well, I'm going up 12. How do I get from negative 7 to a negative 3? That's actually, it seems confusing, but that's actually going up 4. If you're not sure what to do, once again, you take the second number and you subtract the first number, okay? And that would give you a positive 4. Okay, now that I've done that, I slide and divide. Well, 4 over 12, I know most of us would want to say 3, but that's a fraction because the big number is on the bottom, okay? So you can type in your calculator, it will simplify it for you, but the answer that we're going to get is 1/3. Okay, so 1/3 is my slope. Let's go ahead and do the fill in the blank version here. I like to write it all out, then I know that I've got my signs right, and I just have to pop numbers in the blanks. So here's my 1/3. This time I'm going to use the first ordered pair again. When I do that, notice that, let me try to point here, I have a minus here, but I'm going to stick in also a negative 9. Please don't just ditch the negative on the 9. They both matter. All signs matter. Okay, so now that I've got this negative 9, I'm going to erase these little blanks here now that I've got to put in here so I can simplify. This, when I have a minus a negative, that is like saying that I have a plus. 2 negatives make a positive. So now I'm going to multiply. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. 1/3 times a positive 9. So you can just think of what's a third of 9? It's 3. And then I have plus a negative 7. Okay, nothing to combine with the 1/3 x, but I can combine my 3 and my plus a negative 7, which would give me negative 4. Okay, so my final answer would be y equals 1/3 x minus 4. And that is how you use the point slope formula. Good luck.